Hey beautiful people, it is mid-September and I am back with another vlog. This one is an extra special one because can you guess where I am? I am recording this vlog from Eltham, Australia. Yes, I've arrived back in the state of Victoria after nearly 15 months of being away from my birth home. This is a really special time to record this because it's really the first opportunity I've had since coming back to Australia to really reflect on the journey that I've had overseas and the lessons that I've learned, the growth that I've had, amazing people that I've met, and the direction that I've chosen to go in, having really learnt a great deal about myself and about what I really want, discovering my purpose along this really special journey. I'm a very different person to the one that left the shores in May of 2024, and as we record this in mid-September, the best time for me to really reflect on the journey that's been. So let's get started. So first of all, I arrived back in Australia in Melbourne on the 15th of August after about 25 hours worth of travel, leaving San Francisco airport, going via Nadi, which is in Fiji, and then coming back to Melbourne. I was greeted by my parents, which was a really beautiful moment to see them. And, you know, I think one of the biggest things that you miss when you're away for so long is having a hug from your loved ones. There's no question I had many people that I consider family in the United States, but to actually hug your family that had been there for you from the day that you were born is a really special thing to cherish. And so to have that moment with them was so special. So I got home. The whole point of coming back when I did was for my beautiful nephew Jeremiah's second birthday. And then a week later, I had one of my childhood friends' weddings in New Zealand. So the timing coming out of being in Central America, being in the United States, just felt right. And so it was a really good time to come home. My family, my sister-in-law, we were pretty cheeky. We didn't tell my brother that I was arriving on the 15th. We told him that I'd be arriving a day later. And so to his surprise, when we rocked up to his house in Eltham, I was hiding behind the couch and jumped out and had the shock of his life. But it was a really beautiful moment. I don't think my brother's ever hugged me harder than that, and it was a very special moment. And you know, my little nephew, he has seen me a lot on his parents' phone screen, but to actually see me in person for the first time in over a year was just a really special moment for him. And he's really warmed to me now. He really trusts me again. And it's a really special bond that we've been able to build in this very short period of time. But knowing that Dave, my brother, and Lana, my sister-in-law, have been fantastic in integrating a lot of my messages from overseas into his day-to-day life through my daily vlogs has been really profound because he knows exactly who I am. The daily vlogs were for my nephew to see his uncle every day and to still have that connection. I may as well rip the Band-Aid off. After the 14th of September, I will, no longer be doing my daily vlogs. For me, still want to do a lot of posting on social media about what I'm up to and obviously share success stories and share what I'm doing. But doing it every day started to get a lot harder. You know, when you're traveling overseas and every day is really full and you're doing a lot of different things and a lot of the time you've got really poor reception and you're just really busy. Sometimes a minute and a half video to get out to your family and your loved ones and people that are following your journey is really crucial. They know where you are, they know what you're doing, they have an understanding of what you're striving for. It fills in a lot of blanks, and that is a really empowering practice. But, you know, when you arrive back at home after so many months away, and you're really craving rest and grounding yourself, trying to then create a narrative that is different every single day is kind of difficult because all you want to do is just rest, recover, recuperate, and you know, get back on the bike again and continue to, you know, strive for the things you set out to do. But rest is a very important component of it. And as a lot of my really strong mentor and strong inspirational voices in my life continue to say to me, you need to slow down in order to speed up. And that is a really crucial element of success, being able to understand that you are running your own race. You know, when I got back from New Zealand, I had a really bad head cold and I just felt like my energy batteries were vitally low, and close off my mind to any kind of things around business, any kind of things around jobs, careers, next steps. Sure, like people are curious. What are you going to do next? It's a question that I've received quite a lot. And the truth is, I know what I need to do next, but it's very hard for me to articulate that. And it's very hard for me to put a time construct on that because I don't know for sure how long what I'm striving to do is going to take. To have made the documentaries that I made in a social impact lens, to be able to connect with communities around the world that are doing really great work, that is the work that really lights up my soul. And on this whole journey, you've seen a version of me that has strived to try and get a lot of jobs on the conventional job market. And I've fallen short time and time again. And it's not for a lack of skill or a lack of experience or for a lack of trying. It's purely because deep down, I'm not the type of person that fits within those particular roles. For me, the roles that I want to do are a little harder to find on the job market, but are very easy to find within communities that have really positive, heartfelt, compassionate, empathetic change makers who want to make a difference in the world, that want to see positive change, that are standing up for what they believe in and continuing to fight the good fight. And they're doing it in a way that isn't egotistic. It's just they want to see positive change. And with all of the skills that I've been really grateful and privileged to be able to accumulate through my time telling stories, I really feel like I'm a great spokesperson. I'm a great vehicle to be able to tell those stories and to bring my own community, people that I've collaborated with, creating these types of stories in the past and other like stories. I'm really clear about the sort of direction that I'm going in around the types of people that I want to work with and the types of people that I want to collaborate with me to make these incredible creative visions that really do make a positive impact in our communities. That to me has been so much more valuable than feeling the pressure to have to rush what I'm needing to do. And naturally, as I've been home, more and more messages have came through around, Michael, we really love your work. How can we work together? Opportunities that when I was working in the corporate sector, I didn't have the capacity to be able to commit to really empowering projects. In that regard, I'm really, really grateful that coming back to Australia has allowed that to kind of take place. Another common question that has been asked to me is, does it feel surreal after 15 months of time has elapsed to be home? And my answer actually is no, it's not. It actually feels right. It feels normal. It feels like I'm right where I need to be right now. To listen to the kookaburras squawk in the morning here in Eltham, to run up some steep hills, to have nature surrounding me, to have a really refreshing new community where I'm living, to find peace, presence, salvation in where I am, and to reconnect with the people that have been such strong supporters of my journey this entire time I've been overseas has been really beautiful. And the people over in the United States, in Mexico and Guatemala that have continued to share their appreciation and support for me, it's been very, very empowering to have that support. And so I feel like I am meant to be right here, right now, and this is going to be the place where I'm going to make the moves that I need to make. To know that the daily vlogs have created a tapestry of experiences and things that I can look back on and have a lot of pride. To see that tapestry unfold throughout the 9 months exactly since I've been doing these daily vlogs has been something larger than I think I ever could have imagined. I had a couple of intentions in mind. Number one was to pretty much take all of my friends and family that were so far away from me, that weren't in my day-to-day on the journey while I was discovering new things and having this adventure overseas. It was for them. It was for my little nephew watching on his phone screen every night. The other reason was I wanted to instill confidence in me that I could share a really authentic and vulnerable version of myself to social media. I had a private account for years and I barely posted to it. It wasn't the true reflection of what I was going through, the highs and the lows. And so I really said, it needs to be authentic, needs to be vulnerable, needs to be transparent. And that's what I've done through the daily vlogs. It's given me the consistency to post every single day. Even if my day, in my own eyes, hasn't been fully eventful, it's allowed me to share something. And to be able to do that, that has created an unlimited level of confidence in me. And so walking away from doing daily vlogs, I no longer feel the necessity to have to talk to my audience every day because I always know my audience will be there to support me. But to know I can put out a message there at any time is something that's very comforting, but also very freeing. That's why there's been a lot of laughs and also a lot of tears in these videos because they come from the heart. These vlogs come from the heart. And when I talk to you, I talk with my heart, the fullness of my heart. And it's just been such a privilege to do that every single day. But it came to a point where I'm like, I don't feel the need to do that anymore because when I'm ready to talk, I will talk and I'll do that freely. I'll do that without being prompted. It'll just be this feeling of, yes, let's talk. And right now, in this time in my life, talking is so important, but there's times where you need to rest your voice. There's times where you need to rest your energy. There's times where you need to prioritize other things in your life, like family, like friends, especially like yourself, so you can give your full presence to everything else that's unfolding in your life. And that's been a lesson that I've been very grateful to learn through the success of these daily vlogs. I probably made this decision 1 week into getting home and getting sick and going to myself, okay, I need to slow down and I need to take care of myself. But yeah, what a joy to do this. And I hope I've inspired you along the way as well to maybe film yourself and see that you really shine bright, to have confidence and to share what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what comes from your heart. And you don't have to do it every day like I did, but to share how you're feeling, not only to a social media audience, but to your own audience, to the people that love you and care for you around you, to be more expressive, to be more vulnerable, to be more transparent, to be your most authentic self for the people in your corner is such an empowering thing to do. So I hope I've inspired you to do that just a little bit more. Because I've been so present in the moment since I've came back to Australia, I spoke about the time that happened between leaving San Diego and coming to Mexico and then arriving in Guatemala and doing the teaching experience. Mexico was such a gift. 13 months in to the US experience, I was questioning if the way that I was going about things continued, where I would be and if I would be happy. Took a leap of faith to go to Mexico, to go to Guatemala, hoping that my true purpose would be called upon and that I would have an opportunity to do what I really love and do it in a way that connected with the types of communities that I was really empowered by. And so when I got to San Miguel de Allende, I got that opportunity through Actuality Abroad's documentary outreach program for 2 weeks, really got to be one with the San Miguel community. I really built very strong relationships with the 12 participants that were in the program that were editing, producing, directing, and being cinematographers on the 3 projects that were made, and then the 3 micro documentaries that were made. And Robin and I built a very close and a very professional working relationship within those 2 weeks where we were really able to bring together some extraordinary stories with our participants and in front of an audience of over 60 people packed into a theatre at a place called Biblioteca to watch these 3 films on the big screen, to have a lot of the subjects that were featured in these films travel from over 3 hours away to actually witness these films, these authentic social impact stories being told, was one of the best experiences of my life, one of the most rewarding moments. You know, my capacity was so different from day to day, whether it was being on set, holding up a boom pole, or whether it was talking to the subjects and getting them comfortable while we were miking them up, ready for an interview, whether it was flying a drone right up to a church and then flying it all the way back to get some establishing shots of a town, or whether it was holding a secondary camera to get different angles of expressive hands or facial expressions from a different angle. The different roles that I had in the Actuality Abroad program as the production supervisor were really wide-reaching, and I was really grateful to Robin Canfield that he didn't put a limit on the ways that I could be helpful. To have that 2 weeks of experience where I was able to stand up as a mentor and actually speak very honestly about the films that I was seeing, the edits that I was seeing, the behaviors, the work ethics, the productions of the participants that were in the program, to create and establish this rapport, and then to see the films go from the infancy to full picture at the end of the program was a very rewarding experience. And to see the growth in the participants as well by the end of that program was such a rewarding experience. And walking away from that Actuality Abroad program and knowing that I made a legitimate impact on the way all 3 films were made and constructed and were distributed as we speak, was a really empowering process. And it re-emphasized my credentials as a teacher, as a mentor too, that I can teach documentary filmmaking, that I can teach authentic storytelling, that I can do paper edits, that I can help with Adobe Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve, or assist on set and assist with interviewing certain subjects, to know that I've got those skills and abilities to be a valuable asset as a part of a greater social impact filmmaking production is a really important step forward for me to have that acknowledgement and to realize my value on these kind of productions, and have the 2 students that I had in Guatemala as well, and to teach them in that program with, you know, really strict deadlines and really tough circumstances that we were in. I really felt like me and those 2 participants in Guatemala really grew as people, and we bonded and had an amazing experience there as well. So to have both of those experiences and to see the growth of all my participants, all the students that I supported, and now having them reach out to me saying, would you be a referee on this job application, really touches me deep down, that they want to call upon my expertise to assist them with future opportunities. It's very, very special. I then enjoyed a little bit of time after the program in San Miguel in Mexico City, CDMX. Some of the highlights included Teotihuacan, which is a massive temple network, quite stunning. You could feel a very strong spiritual energy at this place, and it was a real delight to visit it. To also go to the Anthropology Museum in the heart of Mexico City and learn more about the Mayan culture, the Aztec culture, the Teotihuacan culture. Mexico City is an incredible place, very big city, but a city that you have to explore. For me to have that as my final place to visit in Mexico was quite fitting, in my honest opinion, to be able to have that experience and to leave Mexico feeling hungry, quite hungry to go back there again. I came back to Australia, got to celebrate Jeremiah's 2nd birthday, which was really beautiful. He's into trains, which is very similar to what my brother was into at that age. He's also into rockets and space, which is exactly what I was into at that age as well, which is quite beautiful, very fitting. To then go to New Zealand, a country that I'd never been to before, and discover the beauty of Queenstown. The flight in was one of the most beautiful and scenic flights I've ever had into a city, into any destination. to go past all of those snowy mountaintops, it was like, it literally took your breath away. And to be there for the wedding and be there with Mum was a really, really special experience. And I will definitely be back to New Zealand in the future. My brother's in-laws are from New Zealand, and it's a country that I want to definitely explore more of. I've only really scraped the surface just going to Queenstown, but I haven't seen any of the North Island yet, so that is definitely on my radar in the future. But yeah, I think that coming back from New Zealand was very much a wake-up call for me to say, okay, you've had enough trouble. It's time to relax. It's time to slow down. It's time to focus on yourself and recharging and be around good people and start doing what you love more regularly. I think this is a fitting place to say thank you. Thank you for all of your incredible support. Thank you for continuing to watch every single day's daily vlog. Thank you for also listening to all of the In the Ballpark episodes. And despite the fact that some of these interviews were in a different language, to know that I can still gain those same kind of insights and perspectives, even though I don't speak that native language, is a really heartening thing for me to know. Thank you all so much for listening to this In the Ballpark episode, this vlog. It has been an absolute privilege giving you guys updates every single day through my Moment Makers daily vlogs. Thank you for watching my very first video, January the 14th of 2025. To right now, September the 14th, 2025. It has been an honor and a privilege. I will continue to update you on some of my really exciting news as it comes to hand. But in the meantime, thank you. I'm very grateful to you for your support. I could not have done it without you, and I mean that. Really excited for you to continue to be one of my biggest supporters in my corner as I continue forward with bringing these authentic stories to light. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Love to you all. We'll talk soon. Cheers.